Really, I mean, listen, these Bruins now, it's reached a critical mass, I would say. And you got fans in the stands not clapping their hands, but instead chanting, "Fire Sweeney."
Hey, it worked in Foxborough.
I'm wondering what took so long for this to start. I know the Joe Sacco era started a little bit more positively than it's going lately, so maybe there was a little bit of insulation there from what had happened with Montgomery and what we all think maybe should happen going forward here with some other people involved in this team and letting it get to this with this roster and everything else. I'm not sure if Joe Sacco's the answer or not. I think he's running into some of the same problems Jim Montgomery ran into, and that's to be expected. It's the same roster. The problem, I don't think, was the coaching. I didn't think it then. I still don't think it now. I think this team has issues. This team has a desire problem. And you heard pretty much everybody in that locker room talking about it afterward. They wanted it more than us. I don't know what's going on out there. We're not giving the effort. We're not doing this. We're not doing that. This is a problem. And for the Bruins, again, I said this yesterday, it's hard to gauge what a failure is with this team sometimes because they're so accepting of just making it to the playoffs and losing in the first round every year. Brian yesterday had a great analogy. He's like they're the Pittsburgh Steelers of the NHL. It's basically true. You know, they have winning seasons. They make it to the playoffs. They get their ass kicked. They rinse, repeat the next year, and it's the same thing. And you have a regular season where you're rooting them on and you feel good about them, and then the playoffs come, you get slapped with reality, and that's the end of it. Once you lose that regular season, though, once that stops becoming part of the process, part of the cycle, you're going to lose these fans, and you're already starting to lose them. That chant last night, that is this time of year, what is it, January 8th? You still got a lot of hockey to play here, all right? There's a lot of time for the Bruins to turn it around or whatever it is you think they're going to do. Fans don't think they're going to. Fans don't think that this is a team that's one turnaround away. Sorry, Razor, sorry, guys over at Nesson. Like, that's not what's happening here. This team is sinking, and anybody who's watching can see it. It's on display every night.
So the thing with me is nothing's changed. There were quotes from Zadorov and others that you could have said came a month and a half ago. Yeah, we're always a step behind. It's like they want it more. Well, yeah, nothing's changed. We've been having these same quotes with Montgomery, couldn't figure out how to fix it. Clearly, Sacco couldn't figure out how to fix it. And the season feels worse than it is right now, but it's also trending in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Like, I had this discussion with my son. We were watching. He's like, what's their record? Seems like they stink. And I was like, actually, they're a playoff team right now. But then you look at it, you go, oh, well, you're only 1 point ahead of the Lightning, and you're only 3 points ahead of Columbus, and you've lost 4 in a row. Like, you're going in the wrong direction. You fixed nothing, and you're right. Like, I love Razor, but, I mean, the optimistic approach he's taken, finding a silver lining somewhere that they're close to some run, not even the players that talk think they're close to anything.
I know.
None of them, not one of them, has sounded optimistic about who they are, what they are, where they're going, what their identity is. If anything, it's the opposite. They are like a depressed hockey team that doesn't want to get out of bed, that thinks the day is too much for them. That's what we're just going to go get embarrassed by another team. And that was embarrassing.
Yeah.
In particular, I know he's Connor McDavid, but that breakaway for the Bruins turned breakaway goal.
Yeah.
That was just such a slap of reality. Such a slap of reality, and that's who they are. And I don't see how you change it. I'm starting to think more and more, and we've read some of this and heard some of this, starting to think about blowing it up, resets. You talked about hell, Sweeney himself, when they fired Montgomery and hired Sacco, was talking about, well, what's next is organizational shakeups, player shakeups. They're going down that road.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. What are you now? What is this Bruins team now? What was the highlight of the game yesterday? Trent Frederick?
Absolutely.
Going out there and smacking around Corey Perry. I saw people were getting real excited about that fight.
Oh, I kind of was. I stood up.
I mean, he was throwing these haymakers, he's coming over the top.
I don't care.
Hitting the back of the helmet. I was like, they're like, oh, bloody knuckles. It's like, yeah, he kept punching the back of the guy's helmet.
Oh, no, he got some neck in below the helmet.
Got some neck in, okay.
Yeah, he definitely.
Pause.
And also,
yes.
Have you watched this team?
Yeah.
We're grasping at straws of entertainment
There's
here.
nothing else, yeah.
Okay, so that's all there was. I'm going to say, you're right. The bloody knuckle close-up was more exciting than anything else in the game.
Anything they did, it's true.
And then I started to think about it. I was like, wow, that must suck to put that glove back on. That stinky, sweaty glove must kind of hurt. Because the rest of the game, they don't give you something to think about, to care about, to watch. They're absolutely abysmal right now in my thing. I always say to you, entertain me first.
Right.
If you're going to lose, get my hopes up, give me a little buzz, get me some juice. Other than Trent Frederick, there was nothing last night.
Yeah.
Your guy. How about Swayman? I know he's Connor McDavid, and I'm not. And this one in particular, I give the edge to the fastest player on the planet.
I'd give it to him, too.
But in general, when was the last time he took one of those and just snuffed it out?
Been a while.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't win a game nothing, but yeah, it's true.
No.
You're right.
I used to be a goalie coach for girls lacrosse. You know what I used to tell them?
Win the game 0-0.
They can't score, they can't win. It's a fact.
It's true.
It's an absolute fact of the world.
But if you can't score, you can't win either.
But you can't lose.
It's true.
If they don't score, you can't lose. They can't win. And this Bruins team finds every way to lose. So
they certainly do.